Students, in this video I am going to explain some of the applicable based questions from the lesson Heredity and Evolution. I hope this will really help you for your exams. Okay children, today we are going to start the applicable based questions from the lesson Heredity and Evolution. So from this lesson, what are the applicable based questions arising in your exam, or most likely questions? The first is, do genetic combination of mothers play a significant role in determining the sex of newborn? The first question is, do genetic combination of mothers play a significant role in determining the sex of newborn? Here children, you have to write no. The answer is no. Mothers have a role in determining the sex of newborn. Mother have a pair of X chromosomes, children. You have to understand, mothers have a pair of X chromosomes which has XX, and all the children will inherit X chromosome from mother regardless of whether they are boys or girls. You all understood, children? So mothers have a pair of X chromosomes. So regardless of boy or a girl, so boy also receives X chromosome from mother. Even the girl also receives X chromosome from the mother. It depends upon the father gametes, children. So the sperms have XY chromosome. From the mother, X chromosome, if the girl takes X chromosome, from the father, if she takes X chromosome, XX chromosome, XX is nothing but female, that is girl. And boy takes X chromosomes from the mother and Y from the father. Then XY. Then it results to boy. So what is your answer is, do genetic combination of mothers play a significant role in determining the sex of newborn? You have to write no. Mothers have no role in determining the sex of newborn. Mothers have a pair of X chromosomes, and all the children will inherit X chromosome from mother regardless of whether they are boys or girls. Now second question, mention 3 important features of fossils which help in the study of evolution, children. So 3 important features of fossils which help in study of evolution. So first thing, you should know what are fossils. So what are fossils? Fossils are the remains or impressions or traces of living things like bones, shells, imprints or of animals or microbes. So you should know these are the remains or impressions or traces of living things. Now, what are the 3 important features of fossils which help in the study of evolution? The first is, it helps to establish the time period in which the organisms live, children. The first feature of why fossils are the evolutionary studies, first thing, fossils help us to establish the time period in which the organisms live. For example, if you can see, so because of the fossil study, we can study Mesozoic era, Paleozoic era and Cenozoic era. So these are the different types of eras. During this era, what type of organisms have been evolved. So you can know what type of organisms have been evolved during a particular era. So that is how fossil study helps us. Second one, it helps in establishing evolutionary traits, so characters of organism and their ancestors. So second one feature of fossil is, it helps us to establish the evolutionary characteristics of organisms and their ancestors, children. So present organism, what are the ancestors of the present organism and what are the characteristics which it helped it to survive or to live on the earth. So for example, you can take horse. Horse is the one of the example for this fossil evidence, children. So that horses descend from organisms for which only fossils exist today. For example, change in the molar teeth and also forefeet. You can see there is a modification right from the lower organism, that is the modification of the horses. You can see there is modification as the from one era to another era. So like this, fossil study helps us to know the evolutionary characteristics of the organisms and between their ancestors. The third one is, it helps in identification of the remains of ancient species. So for example, you can take the skull. If you study the various types of skulls, you will know what are the evolutionary remains of this ancient species. So this fossil study will help us to know the presentation of the remains of ancient species. Now these are the three important features of fossil study, children. The first is establishing the time period in which the organisms live. Second one helps in establishing evolutionary traits of organisms and their ancestors. Third one helps in of remains of ancient species. The next question is, in human beings, the statistical probability of getting either a male or a female child is 50-50%. Explain. So you have to explain, children. In human beings, the probability of getting either a male or a female child is 50-50%. Why? So the answer is, children, the sex of a child is determined by the type of sex chromosomes. You have to remember this, children. The sex of a child is determined by the type of sex chromosomes contributed by male gametes. So contributed by male gametes. So here male gametes, in the sense they are the sperms, children. So here the sperms of the males consist of 50% of X chromosome and 50% of Y chromosomes. So the sperms have 50% of the sperms will have X chromosomes and 50% of the sperms have Y chromosomes. So these gametes only help in detecting the sex of a child. You'll understood, children. So the sex of a child is determined by the type of sex chromosomes contributed by male gametes. The statistical probability of getting either male or a female child is 50-50 because the ratio of the male gametes containing X chromosomes and those containing Y chromosomes is 50-50. So the sperms will have 50% of the sperms carry X chromosome, 50% of the sperms carry Y chromosome. That is the reason why the statistical probability of getting either a male or a female of the child is 50-50. The next question is, what are homologous structures? Give an example. And is it necessary that homologous structures always a common ancestor? You have to write what are homologous structures, children? What are homologous structures or organs? These are the organs which have same structural and developmental origin or design. So the organs which have same structure and same origin but have different function and appearance, we call them as homologous organs. For example, you can take 4 limbs of frog, lizard, rabbit, bird and man. If you observe the 4 limbs of frog, lizard, rabbit, bird and man, so the structure is the same. If you look, the structure is same but the function is different. For example, in frog it is used for leaping, in rabbit it is for jumping, in lizards it is for crawling and birds for flying, in man for holding or lifting the objects. The 4 limbs are used. So this we call them as homologous organs. The organs which have same structural and developmental design but different function, we call them as homologous organs. So this is the first part of a question, children. What is the next is it necessary that homologous structures always a common ancestor? You have to write yes. It is necessary that homologous structures always have a common ancestor. Why? In order to carry out different activities. Next question is, a woman has only daughter. Analyze the situation genetically and provide a suitable explanation, children. Woman has only daughters. That means she got only daughters, no sons. So you have to give why, what is the reason. Here the woman produces egg or ovum. The gametes in females are egg or ovum, and already I told you which contains X chromosomes, a pair of X chromosomes. Okay, children. And man produces sperms with XY chromosomes. Woman produces X chromosome, a pair of XX, and man produces XY chromosome. Now, if the husband of the woman transfers X chromosome, then child will be a girl. So already I told you, woman has X chromosome, and when husband of the woman, that is man, transfers X chromosome, then the child will be girl. XX will lead to girl. On the other hand, if the husband transfers Y chromosome, what will be the child? So mother is passing X chromosome and father is giving Y chromosome. So what will be the combination? XY. So XY is nothing but boy. You'll understood, children. So in case the husband always transfers X chromosome and hence the child is girl. If the husband transfers Y chromosome, the child will be boy. In case if he always transfers X chromosome, then the child is girl. Now next question is, give reason why acquired characters are not inherited. You have to give reason why acquired characters are not inherited. So you have to know what are first acquired characters, children. Acquired characters are those characters which are not passed from parents to offspring. So you have to remember this, children. Acquired characters are not passed from parents to offspring. They are learned behaviors. First thing you have to learn, you have to know acquired characters are learned behaviors. And they are not passed from parents to offsprings, and they are only, the learned behaviors are skilled behaviors where the organism develops after its birth. These we call them as acquired characters. So these characters cannot be passed on to the DNA of the germ cells. So these are acquired. For example, you can take the child learning to read, the child learning to read, a bird learning to fly, a horse learning to stay away from an electric fence. So these are skilled behaviors. These are learned behaviors which are not passed on to the DNA of the germ cells, and that's why the characters are not inherited. You all understood, children? Acquired characters are those characters that an animal, plant or a person develops through interactions in the environment. These are learned behaviors which are developed through the interactions in the environment. You all understood, children? And that's the reason these cannot be, because to be inherited, these have to transfer to the DNA and in return to the genes, so that the characteristics will be carried from one generation to another generation, because these are developed through the interaction in environment and which cannot be passed on to the DNA of the genes. That's why these are not inherited. So we have a question here, children. For that, 3 questions are added. You have to, based on one question, you have to answer the other 3 questions. Okay, children. So study the following cross showing self-pollination in flowers and try to answer the question. Okay, children. The first is, parents are given round and yellow. So these are homozygous characters, children. Same, round and yellow are crossed with wrinkled and green. Capital RR, YY, when crossed with small rr, small yy. So first characteristics is round and yellow, second one wrinkled and green. So they have given in F1 generation round and yellow. In F1 generation you get round and yellow. So they put a question mark. So what are the next characters you have to mention? The next characters, as you know, children, if a cross is made between homozygous is same, round RR and yellow YY. When these are crossed in the F1 generation, you get round and yellow. Though what round is dominant, yellow is dominant. So you get round and yellow characteristics in F1 generation. The next question is based on the first question only, children. What are the combinations of characters in generation and what are the ratio they are asking? So you have to write. So what are the combinations of character generation? Is the combination characters is, children, round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green. These are the combination. So when these are crossed, what is the ratio you get? You get the gametes like round yellow, round green, wrinkle yellow, wrinkle green, and the other side also you have the same. So when these are crossed, you get a board, checkerboard we call, children. You can do this tabular column and you can find out what is the ratio. So you have RR, capital R, capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. Like that, if you see, you will get to know what is the ratio, children. So you can see 9 parts are round and yellow. 9 parts are round and yellow and 3 parts are round and green and other 3 parts are wrinkle and yellow and 1 part you have wrinkle and green. So what is the ratio? 9:3:3:1. Okay, children, you have to put the tabular column, and if you write the gametes and if you multiply them or cross them, then you get the characters. So 9 of them are round and yellow, 3 of them are round and green 3 wrinkled and yellow, 1 wrinkled and green. So that is the ratio. We have based on that question only. So what are the basic features of mechanism of inheritance? So I told you inherited characteristics are those which are carried from one generation to another generation. So to be carried, what is the mechanism? Basic features. First feature is characters are controlled by genes. All the characters which are inherited are controlled by genes, children. And the second one, each gene controls one character. Each gene controls one character. And where are these located? These genes are located in chromosomes. And there may be 2 or more forms of genes, children. We call them as alleles. There may be 2 or more forms of genes. And an individual possesses 2 forms of genes which are similar or dissimilar. They form 2 forms of genes. Some will be similar, some will be dissimilar. One form may be dominant, the other will be recessive. One form may be dominant over other means recessive. Now we have come to the last question of this video, children. Give the reasons for the appearance of new combination of characters in the F2 generation or in the F2 progeny. So what is the reason you have to give for the appearance of new combination of characters? So an organism can inherit each character independently. You have to remember, children. So this inheritance of each character independently is based on the law of independent assortment. So what is this law of independent assortment? When 2 pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid or heterozygous, one pair of characters separates independently of the other pair. So 2 pairs of characters will be there. One pair gets separated independently from the other. This we call it as what? Law of independent assortment. So here in your question you have to give reason. An organism can inherit each character independently. So in the F2 generation, new combination of characters appear. So the characters which are combined will get separated during gamete formation. It might be tall or short, round or wrinkle seeds, okay, which are independently inherited. So this is the answer you have to write, children. I hope this video is really helpful for your exam, children. So when the question is given like that, read the question and try to answer it correctly. Okay, children. I hope you are really benefited by this video. Thank you for watching. See you next video.